Meanwhile, President Trump, of course, already in another war of words with North Korea. The president taking to Twitter to send a strong warning to the leaders of the regime after its foreign minister Ri Yong-ho's harsh words for the president at the United Nations General Assembly yesterday. Mr. Ri said, the president said, quote, just heard foreign minister of North Korea speak at UN. If he echoes thoughts of little rocket man, they won't be around much longer. John Bolton, former U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute and Fox's contributor, and chairman of the Gatestone Institute here in New York, joins us as always. Ambassador, is threatening that North Korea won't be around much longer, is that really appropriate and responsible language?
Look, this exchange between the North Koreans and the president is, in my mind, about as significant as snapping cows in a locker room. Although I would suggest Kim Jong Un not kneel the next time he hears the American national anthem being played.
I mean, but what if it backfires? I mean, the North Koreans are taking this very seriously.
Yeah, I don't think it amounts to a hill of beans. This is the sort of thing that if you look through history, leaders have insulted each other for thousands of years. The issue here is strategic and existential. It has nothing to do with a so-called war on words.
I mean, it's not Khrushchev, banging the shoe on the podium saying we will bury you. It's not Yasser Arafat with the pistol, on the gun. But let me play you a little bit of what Ri Yong-ho said yesterday. He called the president mentally deranged, called him President Evil, and says basically that he doesn't know anything. Here's part of what he said.
He tried to insult the supreme dignity of my country by referring it to a rocket. By doing so, however, he committed an irreversible mistake of making our rocket's visit to the entire U.S. mainland inevitable all the more. None other than Trump himself is on a suicide mission.
So he takes the podium, threatens to attack the United States. Now they're also threatening to have a atmospheric nuclear warhead hydrogen bomb test in the Pacific. That hasn't happened since 1980.
Yeah. Well, as with everything North Korea says, you have to take it with several grains of salt. They've got a playbook, as you and I have discussed before, of terms and language that they use. The next communication from the North Korean news agency will be to threaten the United States with destruction by a sea of fire. That's one of their favorites. What you have to do is look past that and assess what I think is the real threat here, which is that they have made very significant progress in a shorter period of time than many analysts had thought in both their ballistic and nuclear programs. And so when you get to the substance of this and what President Trump said on Tuesday, which was denuclearization of North Korea is the only path forward, that's really what it comes down to, and what we're going to do to make sure that, in fact, they are denuclearized one way or the other.
And finally, he did say, and he gave us an indication of their strategy, that they have this nuclear program for defense and to prevent an invasion of North Korea by the United States. And as he said, that they want a balance of power. They're not going to give it up, ever.
Right. They're certainly not going to give it up voluntarily. There's no question about it. And that's been true over the last 25 years as three successive American administrations have tried and failed to talk them out of the nuclear weapons program. That's why Trump has very few good options here. And I might just say one other thing quickly. The North Korean line is, oh, this is just for defensive purposes, which many Americans believe. It's a great tribute to North Korean propaganda. Look, this capacity is to help them take over South Korea and to become a regional power.
So finally, what do you predict?
Well, I think the next question will be whether China follows through on some of the commitments it's made to put economic pressure on North Korea. I don't think we're going to know in the near term. I think Xi Jinping's upcoming party Congress in mid-October, we're going to have to get past that to see whether China's serious this time or it's just one more example of double talk.
All right, Ambassador, we'll see what happens when those sanctions hit on the oil on January 1st. Ambassador John Bolton, as always.
Thanks. So say, can you say?
Of course. Thank you.